You're listening to episode number 12 of the Play Your Position podcast.
Welcome to the Play Your Position podcast, where your story matters and we make it count. Here's your host, Mary Lou Kaser. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to introduce my guest today, Natasha Hazlett. Natasha, are you ready for kickoff?
I am very ready for kickoff. So excited.
Awesome. So Natasha Hazlett is a branding expert, award-winning internet marketer, and attorney. She is the co-founder of Fast Forward Marketing, LLC, the author of several courses included Branded 100% Authentic, The Savvy Entrepreneur's Guide to Building a Savvy Business Online, and the creator of the Irresistible Brand Blueprint, which helps entrepreneurs to create a profitable and fun business online. Over the past 5 years, Natasha has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs from around the world to create a business and life they love using her proprietary brand blueprints. She works with a wide variety of clients, from aspiring entrepreneurs with just an idea to 6- and 7-figure business owners. Natasha was honored by the Idaho Business Review with the 2013 Women of the Year Award. She's an active volunteer in the Treasure Valley with the Junior League of Boise and the Boise Community Education Program. Now, Natasha, continuing on with this amazing introduction, why don't you describe for listeners the position you play exceptionally well right now, and how has playing this position guided and shaped your life?
So the position I'm playing right now is my role as branding expert. And a branding, I guess it's better to call me a coachaltant, because half the time I am coaching people, helping people to uncover their hidden gold, find out what is unique and special and monetizable about them. And the other part, I'm wearing the consultant hat, where I am helping people to put together strategic marketing plans to define, build, and monetize their authentic brand online. I really discovered my mission on December 8th of 2011 when I received a calling. In that calling, I realized that we're in for some really dark economic times ahead, and that entrepreneurs are going to be the beacons of light in the world during those dark times. And I knew it was my mission that I had to do whatever it took to empower and equip aspiring entrepreneurs and current entrepreneurs to build a very profitable business. One of the biggest kind of leaps of faith that I took in building this mission was actually deciding to quit my full-time job as a practicing attorney so that I could pursue this mission full time. So, ever since I embraced my mission, my purpose in life, the doors have just swung wide open for me. There's a great quote that I love: "Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid." And that really exemplifies what has happened in my life and in my husband's life, because we're actually business partners. Being able to help so many people, but also get paid well for what I do. I mean, it's the total win-win-win. No, I'm fully in alignment with my purpose and my mission here in life.
I love that you shared a couple of key messages right there. The first one, Natasha, that really stuck with me: you took a leap of faith and quit your full-time as an attorney, but because of this calling, you were willing to walk away from a lucrative job with security and benefits and all the great things that can come with being fully employed. Not a lot of people make that kind of a leap. They're afraid, or they don't want to give up the security. They may say that they have a big dream, but when it comes to executing what's necessary to make that dream come true, they tend to hold back and watch other people do it, but not you. So you're a great role model for people listening today who might be at that place in their lives when they're thinking about making a leap. And here you are exemplifying that not only is it possible, but there's something pretty spectacular on the other side. And that quote is fantastic because it really aligns with something that is at the heart of my philosophy, which is when you come to the edge of a chasm and you can see the other side, jump. It's usually not as wide as you think. Trust that the forces are going to appear, that your wings will carry you. And, here we are in 2014. This was back in 2011, and you have not looked back. You're moving forward. You're continuing to build your business, and that's pretty impressive and speaks to the power of intention. Who has been an instrumental coach or mentor for you on this journey that you've been on?
I always hear of people that have like one mentor, someone that was just so profound for them. And when I think about that question, I don't feel like I had just one person. I feel like I had mentors and coaches that have come in and out of my life at different times that pushed me along at the point where I needed it. And so, there's just been a variety. I mean, from just personal development, like, Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar trying to get my mindset straight, to the more tactical strategies. The person that I love is Marie Forleo, and the way that she interacts with her audience and all of that. Another one is a lady named Ann Sieg. She's been instrumental also in our life and in our business progress. I wish I could pick just one, but there's just been so many people. A fellow named Russell Brunson, who is a great friend and mentor to us as well, given me some amazing strategies that really helped us in our business. So there's just so many people that we're so grateful for. It's a team effort.
Absolutely. And speaking of strategies, let's move the chains down the field towards that end zone. Tell us about a time when you have found yourself playing out of position, such as being sacked, intercepted, or perhaps you fumbled the ball. What caused this to happen, and how did you recover?
So early in my entrepreneurial days, before I became known as a branding expert, I was actually promoting a direct sales company. And I was doing that online, and I had been working on this for 18 months. I was still practicing law full time. 18 months in, 18 months of hard work, writing a lot of awesome content, blog articles, and participating in forums and providing tremendous value online. The company sent me an email and said, "We've changed our policies on internet marketing. We no longer allow it. You have 48 hours to delete all of your content." I was thinking that my ability to quit my full-time job was just around the corner. Then I got this tremendous blow. I think it's worse than a fumble, probably more akin to a sack, because it knocked the breath out of me. I took some time off. In hindsight, I kind of wish I didn't, but I kind of quit the business temporarily. Luckily, my husband, Rich, did not. And when I came back into business, I was at an event telling my woe is me story about how I lost my entire business and I had to delete all of my marketing efforts for 18 months and start from scratch. And someone said, "Well, Natasha, why don't you use your mistake to help other people avoid the same fate?" And so, a lot of people in the network marketing and direct sales industry at that time were doing what I was doing and thereby putting their businesses in jeopardy. And so I learned from that incident that I didn't want to be building someone else's brand. I didn't want to be building someone else's dream. I wanted to build my own brand. And so that is how, that coupled with the fact that I have an advertising degree and the fact that my husband was an advertising executive for over 14 years, that has all kind of culminated in me becoming the expert in branding that I've become.
Now, that is a story. I don't care who you are, but to lose 18 months of hard work with literally almost a click of the mouse. But it speaks to the truth that sometimes our greatest triumphs come out of our deepest pain. And there is no question that losing 18 months, Natasha, of your hard work was painful for you. And yes, you took a little bit of time and licked your wounds and had that woe is me kind of space for a while. But then you snapped back and were wise enough to listen to that person who said, "Hey, you know what? Because you went through this, there's probably other people who are going through this as well. And you have a lot that you could teach them." And that was part of your moving into where you are now, where you're serving a client base that needs that guidance, that perhaps has been through their own source of pain through work or a business. And you've got that perspective that you can share. And that's really, really valuable and important. It really does take a strong spirit to forge ahead and leave behind something like that. And you're exemplifying that, again, proving that you're a terrific role model for anyone who's listening today who's either thinking about making a shift in their work situation or their business life. And that, again, sometimes the most troublesome times in our lives can actually become our greatest blessings and sources of inspiration. And not only did this painful experience give birth to this business that you love, but it also is giving birth to a book that you have in the works called Cashing In on You. And I love that title because it speaks to a message that I think everybody can benefit from hearing. Again, whether you're a small business owner or work for a larger company, the fact of the matter is it's so important to put time and energy into developing you, because that's going to be the one thing you've got with you your entire life, no matter what you do, no matter where you go. Cash in on you. So I'm really excited about that book, Natasha, and can't wait to read it.
Exactly. I mean, and the one thing that I would add is, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, are you so mad at that company? And I'm not. I'm so grateful for that company for what they did. If I had to relive it all over again, I would gladly do it, because I would not be in the position that I am right now. So I am so grateful for having to have faced that big hurdle. I'm so grateful for being sacked, because it made me a better player.
Oh, yes, perfect. I love that. And again, a message that we just can't hear enough. It's just so easy to fall into the woe is me trap right after we get sacked or our bell has been rung, right? But the key is to get up, dust yourself off, and recognize that, hey, tomorrow there's another game and you can go back out on that field. And with this newfound wisdom that you've gained, you're going to be better and stronger and not make those same mistakes again. And honestly, Natasha, that's one of the reasons why I really admire and respect you and wanted you to be on my podcast, because you live that philosophy that you just keep moving forward, that no matter what, you always can drive the ball into the end zone. And yes, there's going to be obstacles, and yes, there's going to be setbacks, but what else is there? Are you just going to sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else play the game? No, you've got to get in there and actually try and see what you can get done. And I love that about you. And from your vantage point, you've seen a lot of changes that have happened in the last few years. And I'd like you to share now what some of those changes that you've witnessed are and how you've dealt with them. How have they challenged you? How have they inspired you? What kinds of things are you seeing from the position that you play?
The challenge has really come with, as more and more people are coming online, they're shopping online, everything's online. People are becoming actually more skeptical, I feel, than ever before. So you really need to be authentic. You really need to put your very best foot forward. I mean, gone are the days of having a website up with no contact information or just, hypey schmipey promises. Stuff like that. That doesn't cut it in today's marketplace. Fortunately, a lot of those people are losing and so they're going off and kind of falling by the wayside. But it's the brands and the businesses that are authentic. I feel like people need to have an attractive character behind their brand, someone that they can connect with. To give like a little example of what I mean by attractive character, when you think about Subway, you think about that fella Jared that lost all that weight. They put an attractive character in their marketing, and it gave a face and a humanity to a company. I think that's one of the ways that we've kind of moved in our business is, I've started doing like a lot more video marketing just to show people the face behind our business so that they can see that we're real people. We're authentically, truly wanting to help someone else. We're not just hiding behind our computer screen.
Yeah, really good point. That authenticity, the demand for transparency that's come about from the internet, whether you own a business or work for somebody else, the demand is there for connection in an authentic and genuine way, especially because these days we tend to have our faces in our screens all the time. We need to look up once in a while, take a breath, and have a real conversation face to face. And using online video to begin a relationship or start a conversation with people is really a great way to build up a community and get people leaning into you and feeling like they can trust you, that they can get to know you, that you're somebody that they potentially might want to work with. That's really the power that I see the internet affords us as business owners. Is it gives us a way to reach more people with our message and connect in a way that even a generation ago wasn't possible. And of course, we're not going to connect with everybody, but the right people who find us and resonate with what we're saying and what we're teaching are the ones who are going to be and become our brand advocates and grow and learn and expand from what we offer.
Absolutely. I think that add on, I think that's why live events are such a powerful monetization strategy, because people get to see you when you're selling products. If you end up having a community, if possible, that you're building, so people start to really get to know one another as well. And of course, one thing that we added into our product line is VIP days, so that we're really getting to know our clients on a one-on-one level. And that's just creating such a deep relationship. It helps us to figure out exactly what we need to do to best serve them. And then they're getting that personal attention. So it's really just kind of putting yourself out there and being transparent and being authentic, saying what you mean and meaning what you say and following through.
Yes, and for listeners who may not be familiar with that term VIP days, would you describe briefly what that means and why they are so powerful?
So a VIP day is when for example, our clients will fly in. We live in Boise, Idaho, so they'll fly in. We'll pick them up from the airport. We've got them set up in a beautiful suite not far from our house. Not all VIP days happen at people's houses, but we wanted to have that level of intimacy. And so we take our clients out to dinner for lunches and so that we can get to know them. So I think that's so important. Hear their stories. Hear about what matters to them. It's funny, a lot of our best business ideas for our clients have come as a result of just a casual conversation over dinner. So it's really building a deeper relationship. Then they come in, and for 2 days, we're hard at work. We are trying to figure out what are their goals for their business. What is their identity in their business? What's going well in their business? What's not going so well in their business? And figuring out, how can we best get them to a point where they are reaching their goals. And a lot of that involves hands-on. We're building sales pages and actually building out website pages for them. Some of it's just strategy, but it's really just a one-on-one, my husband and I work together. So it's really like a 2-on-1 with our clients, and they're getting the best of masterminding and the best of our training and our skills all jam-packed into a 2-day program.
Great. Thanks so much for that clarification, because these are terms that get tossed around sometimes, and not everybody is clear about what exactly that means. And you just described it perfectly. Really appreciate that. It really boils down to some intense time and focus on you, that rolling up the sleeves and diving into the most pressing problems that you need to solve and busting through some of those blocks that can hold us back from what we truly want. And that, interestingly enough, in our highly connected world, the fact is that in some ways we're more disconnected than ever. Yes, we can connect on platforms like Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and so forth, but as far as that face-to-face where you sit down and have a casual dinner together or share a glass of wine and come up with ideas and brainstorms, that's when the real breakthroughs can happen. And I know it's long been a cliche that some of the best deals happen on the golf course, but there's a reason for that. It's because people are relaxed, they're outside of their regular routine, they're not caught up in all the important things of their daily responsibilities. They don't have their head down and just driving forward. They're in a different kind of space, and that's what a VIP day can provide. So there's tremendous value in that for sure. And speaking of moving forward, Natasha, I think it's time that we take the ball into the end zone and score a touchdown. You are in the red zone, and there are less than 30 seconds left on the clock. You're down 7 points, it's third down, and it's now or never. Tell a story about a time when you overcame this obstacle and ran the ball into the end zone for a touchdown that won the game for you.
I've already kind of mentioned the story about me quitting my full-time job, but just to elaborate a little bit more, because I think that really was a very intense situation. So I remember sitting in my office at the law firm, and I realized, oh my gosh, I am actually losing money by going to my job. I'm actually losing money. I'd spent however long, 3 years of law school, passed 2 different bar exams. This was what my family wanted for me. They were so thrilled that their daughter was a lawyer, and yet I realized that I wasn't getting paid what I was worth, that I could make a much bigger impact in the business and, by building our own business. And so I just taking that leap of faith and saying, okay, this is the situation. I'm losing money at my job. I've got these other people that I need to serve. I'm going to just go for it. And what's really cool is I walked into my boss's office and I told him that I was unable to keep working. The funny thing was he ended up saying that he was inclined not to let me quit. And that was really weird because I practiced a lot of scenarios in my head, like maybe a book getting thrown or him yelling at me or telling me to get out right now or something like that. But telling me that he didn't want me to quit was shocking. And one of the main reasons is that I was the marketing director for the firm as well. And so we came to an agreement. He offered me what's called an of counsel position with the firm, which means that basically I get to still have my office and my assistant. But I just come in basically when I feel like it, and I get to work, pick and choose my clients. So that was one thing that was just unbelievable that happened. So I think that was where I started making some real progress because that was just a relief. Okay, great. I'm not giving up my entire law license because I worked really hard for it. And then also a couple of days later, after I took that leap of faith and quit my job, we got approached for a JV partnership, joint venture partnership, where we were going to sell a high-end program. And we were offering some consulting and we're putting in some of our digital products into this mix and into this program. And when we went to this live event where this big ticket program was going to be sold, we ended up making something like close to $23,000 in a single day. This is 2 days after I quit my job. Yeah, so I'd say that's a big touchdown, right? And so it was awesome, and so it was a really big win for us, big confirmation for us that we were doing what we needed to do, because there's no way that I would have been able to fulfill my obligations in the joint venture partnership had I still been working full time at my job. That true phrase that we always say that you should leap and the net will appear. That's really, truly what happened.
So, Natasha, in all fairness, that was not just scoring a touchdown. That was actually winning the Super Bowl. So kudos to you for that. And for listeners today who are wondering, how can I score a touchdown? What can I do to move the chains down the field and get the ball into the end zone? Why don't you share 1 to 3 key offensive strategies straight out of the Natasha Hazlett playbook that listeners could implement right away to move the chains of their lives and our businesses forward?
I've got 3 for you. The first thing is to pick out your ideal client. Who do you want to work with? And, is it a man or a woman? What's their age? What's their education level? What's their income level? If they have kids or not? All those things. And write a story about your ideal client. Name them. The reason why this strategy is super powerful is, first of all, once you've done this, perhaps it's the law of attraction, I'm not sure, but these people will start to appear in your life. And this has happened for my students time and time again. And to create a business that you love, you need to be working with people that you love working with. And so that's something that you could implement immediately in your business, and then target your marketing to those ideal clients. Make sure that in any of your marketing that you are speaking directly to that ideal client. Number 2, be diligent about over-delivering always. When someone decides to purchase something from you, that is an invitation to build a trusting relationship. You've made a promise to them, and you need to make sure that not only that you fulfill on that promise, but that you give them a little something extra. Because where all the money is made in business is in brand loyalty. Brand loyalty will make you a fortune. So if you are diligent about over-delivering in your business, always just going that extra mile, you will see a big boost in your bottom line. All right. And number 3, take massive action. There's a great quote: inspiration without action is entertainment. You can have the best of intentions, but if you don't take action, nothing will happen for you. So take massive action.
Love that quote. That is so powerful. And that first strategy too, the power of actually sitting down and writing out a story about your ideal market or your ideal avatar, as the case may be, really can get you so much farther, so much faster than people might realize. So thank you for sharing that. That's an excellent, excellent strategy. And these strategies and all the other wonderful tips and insights that Natasha has been sharing can be found over at maryloukayser.com/Natasha. And Natasha, before we say goodbye and wrap up this conversation today, what's the best way for people to connect with you? Where is Natasha Hazlett hanging out these days online?
Not surprisingly, you can find me at natashahazlett.com. So definitely, I would love to connect with you over at natashahazlett.com, and you can contact me through there. There's also links to my Facebook page, and I would just love to connect with you. We love to have conversations through my videos and articles that I post over there. So look forward to seeing everyone over there.
And I really want to encourage listeners to go connect with Natasha and check out her website and learn more about what she does, because something she just said I think is really, really spot on, and that is the money is made these days from brand loyalty. So whether you're a solopreneur with a brand of one or working for a big brand out there, everybody has skin in the game when it comes to building out a brand that speaks volumes to a specific audience, adds value, makes lives better, and all that other good stuff. So Natasha, I want to thank you for spending some time with me today on the Play Your Position podcast, and I look forward to connecting with you at a future date, and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Play Your Position podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's guest as much as I did, and remember, you can find the show notes from today's episode over at maryloukayser.com/podcast. I would also so appreciate it if you would take a few minutes to leave me a quick 5-star review on iTunes so more people can find this program and benefit from the wisdom my guests share. I look forward to seeing you on future episodes, and in the meantime, it's a great day to get out there and play your position.
Thanks for listening to the Play Your Position podcast, where your story matters and we make it count at maryloukayser.com.